everybody, and welcome to another brand new edition of T Watches a Scary Movie. My name is T, and of course we are talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new episode. Remember, new episodes are guaranteed to go up every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But as I put out a lot of extra horror content throughout the week, the best way to stay on top of everything that I'm dropping on the channel is to get subscribed to my link tree. And you can do that by going to linktr.ee/T Scary Movie. If you go to my link tree, that's going to get you access to the YouTube page so you can get to the video versions of the show, to your favorite podcasting platform so you can find the audio only versions of the show, to my TikTok page for my movie news, my movie premieres, and me trying to be funny if I actually am funny. Also to my Letterboxd page where you can find written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, and to my Fangoria shop page where you can save money on everything in the Fangoria shop, including a yearly subscription. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, whether it's the link tree, the YouTube page, a podcasting platform, whatever you are watching or listening on, hit that subscribe button because that makes sure that I get extra content out to you guys. And the more that we grow, the more that I can do for you. So hit that subscribe button, folks. So what are we talking about here tonight? Well, last week, I got done dropping my interview with Molly Henery from Certified Forgotten and her Uterus Horror blog up on there. And one of the films that she had talked about was a movie called Perpetrator that came out last year that had Alicia Silverstone, Kaya McKinnon, and others. And I decided, you know what? That's been on my list for a little bit. It's time to get around to it. So tonight, folks, we are going to be talking Perpetrator. Now, if you have not seen the trailer for this one, Perpetrator tells the story of a young woman, and basically a coming-of-age story, who is coming to terms with these newfound powers of hers that she's discovered. And when she's sent to live with a distant relative, she'll also discover that she has to contend with somebody that's wandering around her town, abducting and murdering young girls. And it's going to be up to Jonny to figure out what's going on and to save the day. Now, this film was written and directed by Jennifer Reeder. And if you've heard of that name before, most recently, she had the wraparound segment on VHS 94, the one that involved like the SWAT team, finding like all the videos and the TVs and everything. And there's a lot that seemingly kind of pulled from like what that wraparound was segment pulled into this one as well too. And we'll kind of get there. As I mentioned, this is very much like it's a coming of age story. And our lead character, Jonny, we see that she's going from living with her father. Her mom is just not there. It's not around. We don't really have a full story of what happened there, but Jonny's living with her father. It's clearly a bit of a contentious living situation. So when she gets sent off to go and stay with this relative, her aunt, played by Alicia Silverstone, you know, we're hoping that this means it's a better situation for Jonny to be in, and she has this female presence in her life that clearly she's showing over the course of this entire film that she's definitely missing. That, you know, having that figure in her life would definitely improve a lot of things in terms of how she carries out just her everyday life, how she talks to people. It would influence her relationships. And we see that as she has these interactions with her aunt, with some of the other girls at school, with her crush, that she is getting a little bit of what she would need from like that motherly relationship out of all these other strong ones that she has. But, you know, nothing can really replace having that parental figure who loves and cares and is putting in all this effort that they're supposed to into your life, and how much that shapes you. And as Jonny is kind of coming to terms with all these powers that she has, you know, it's interesting because we don't ever get like a definitive answer on what specifically these powers are. You know, there is something very much involving blood with it, as we see throughout the film, which obviously is very symbolic because we're focusing on a group of girls, of young women in this film, and talking about how they're trying to fight back against this predator in their town. So it makes sense that blood is used as a very big storytelling device to kind of spread this information about. And again, like I think a number of people are going to be able to take take inference from the visuals that they're seeing and kind of work out in their own head, you know, what exactly these powers are and what Jonny can do with them. But at the flip of that as well, too, I do think that some viewers will come in and not really get the full grasp of what Jonny's abilities are. And the movie doesn't really spell it out to you. You know, it feels like this is one of those ones to where multiple viewings will definitely give you a different outlook on it. And it really does, because the film sets up, like, the male characters in it. There's not really any positive male characters across the entirety of the film, and that's very, very purposeful. That the male characters that we do see, you know, they're misogynistic, or they are chauvinistic, or they are literally the bad guy or bad guys. And like, basically any time that we're seeing male presence on screen, it's very, very negative. And that's the real world, to be like completely honest. And I know that you know, Jennifer Reeder had addressed this at like a screening at one point, and she had pointed out that she wanted it to be symbolic of the real world, that it needed to emulate what real life actually is like. And I think that's a very, very pointed strategy here, showing that all the men that not just Jonny comes in contact to, but that all these other girls and women across the story come in contact to as well, none of them really are looking out for their own well-being. And the one male presence that we then find a little bit more information out as the movie goes on, and it turns out it's not exactly, you know, what we were led to believe, will also has some, in my opinion, has some symbolic meaning to that as well too, when it comes to things like gender identity and what a lot of people have to do in their everyday life to be accepted, or to spend time with those that are important to them, or to like kind of protect themselves. It's very, very interesting looking at a lot of the messaging that Reeder has put into this film. And it's a very strong sense of messaging. But again, I think that due to the subject content, that a lot of people are really going to write it off, because we're in 2024 and we have folks who just don't take, you know, female-driven plot like this that seriously. And it's a really engaging, gripping story, honestly. And no, I don't have my hands on all of it. Like, there's still you know, some bits and pieces out of it that I still can't make out for myself, but I really enjoyed the performances we got in it. I think Kia McKinnon, who again plays Jonny, was the right choice to kind of anchor this film down, because we see as she goes from like this angsty, mad, depressed, you know, isolated teenager who slowly begins gaining friends and starts to realize that she does care about some of the people that are around her, and that, you know, she might have these antagonistic qualities about her when it comes to making friendships with these other girls that are around her. But at the end of the day, she's still not only looking out for her best interests, but really for their best interests as well too. And I thought that McKinnon did a great job softening those edges as the film kept going on and on and on. And that, you know, by the end, it's really cool to see where Jonny and, you know, the rest of the girls from her school have ended up in the place that they end up in by the end of the film. I thought that was fantastic progression. Alicia Silverstone, who plays Jonny's Aunt Hildie here, I think that a lot of people who have seen Alicia Silverstone in a variety of different roles might have her typecasted for something very, very specific. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not pointing that out to say, you know, this doesn't work and, you know, she can't play these other roles. But damn, man, like, it's so interesting to me that, like, she only gets roles like these every few years or so, because she absolutely kills it. Like, almost to the point of a comparison I would use is like Julia Stiles, like in Orphan First Kill last year. And that's not to spoil anything about how the story goes, but if you saw Orphan First Kill, that is a very, very not Julia Stiles role from what we grew up with her on, and she absolutely fucking killed it. And I think that Alicia Silverstone is in the same boat with this role as well, too. That I think she's going to surprise a lot of people for having this kind of range and this kind of depth that she's bringing to a movie like this, and does a fantastic job with it. So please, by all means, more horror for Alicia Silverstone. More serious roles where she can flex those muscles because she absolutely killed it in this. Again, this is a very, very bloody film, but bloody does not actually equal gore. There is a lot of blood, and that's because the blood is also used to tell a lot of the story in this movie, for sure. But it's not really that gory of a film, so I think those who have sensitive stomach or don't do well with, like, you know, people getting cut up and chopped up or things like that, this is one you don't really have to worry about because you're more so trying to pay attention to the story and the lessons that are being told within it. And honestly, you're not going to have to cover your eyes up too much. So definitely want to recommend checking out. You can go catch this one on Shudder here right now. And let me know in the comments section what you thought of it. If you've had a chance, check out Perpetrator here before. Go and check that one out. Also, go and check out my interview with Molly Henery. She got a chance to talk about this film a little bit as well, too. She, again, is the reason why I decided I was going to go and check this one out. So you're not going to want to miss that interview either. Make sure to check that one out for yourself. And hit that subscribe button, folks. We got more great reviews coming for you over the next few weeks. Interview with the Vampire is back. We are doing reviews of Season 2. I got more getaways coming for y'all as well, so you're not going to miss any of that. Hit that subscribe button. But that's going to do it for me tonight. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.
Boy here is a big fan of Fangoria. So, if you want to check out the world's best horror magazine that's out there, get a chance to get yourself your own subscription, which I just got my first one back in 2022, and I don't regret it for a second. But if you want your own Fangoria subscription, or you like the Fangoria merchandise, then head over to the Fangoria shop and use my link if you want to save yourself some money, folks. That's an easy one to remember. Just go to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW. Again, that's shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW, or use my specific code AXDEW at checkout. You can save 20% off your entire order, and that implies 2 subscription and one-time orders as well. You don't want to miss out, folks, because with the magnitude of horror movies we've had released in the last few years, and with what we have on the horizon, Fangoria is going to be your #1 source for all that great, juicy, bloody information in the world of horror. So again, head to shop.fangoria.com. Hey there, folks! Thanks for tuning in to T Watch This Scary Movie. I appreciate you checking out another review or movie news, whether we're talking movies, TV shows, books, or games, whatever, it's all scary. Remember, you can check out new episodes every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the YouTube page for video. That's youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. Again, youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. And you can check out the audio version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search T Watch the Scary Movie or TWASM. Don't forget, my name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.